including the UK, even proposed the so-called sanction against China. We strongly oppose and reject this. China does not stir up trouble, but China is not afraid when others do. China never provokes confrontation with anyone, but if anyone bans on confrontation with China, we are ready to keep them company. China has been focusing on development at home and minding our own business. We have always put the people front and center, making every effort to improve people's life in all aspects and safeguard people's rights and interests. Independent surveys by institutions in the United States and Singapore show that over 90% of the Chinese people support the Chinese government under the leadership of the Communist Party of China. It is our sincere hope that people in the UK will overcome their prejudice, reject the lies, and refuse to spread them. We welcome your contribution to better mutual understanding between China and the UK and the sound development of China-UK relations, because this important relationship needs to focus on more meaningful tasks. Thank you.
Thank you, Chargé d'Affaires. Now it's over to Mr. Xu in Urumqi. Mr. Xu, please.
好，感谢杨晓光先生的致辞。现在首先请大家观看短片《新疆是个好地方》。那么在这部短片里，我们向大家介绍了新疆经济发展、社会稳定、民族团结、宗教和谐等方面的情况以及新疆的大美风光下面请观看。
Dating from remote antiquity, Xinjiang has been an integral and inseparable part of the Chinese territory. And indeed,
and to feel a little bit about the nature landscapes of this land and some of the basic information about this beautiful region.
Under the exceptional care of the party and the central government have devoted, with the generous assistance from the 19 area provinces and cities, and through the concerted efforts of carters and the masses of all ethnic groups, Xinjiang has been transformed into a land of life, a land of thriving vitality. This is a land of vastness and a common home to 56 ethnic groups. Xinjiang covers a total area of over 1.66 million square kilometers. Over the long course of history, people from various ethnic backgrounds in Xinjiang, joined by those from across the country, have worked together to develop this vast, magnificent part of the motherland. Ever since the founding of the People's Republic of China, the Chinese government has placed high on its agenda the inheritance, protection, and development of the excellent traditional ethnic cultures in Xinjiang. People from different ethnic groups are encouraged to learn from each other's spoken and written languages. All ethnic customs and traditions are duly respected. In Xinjiang today, people from various ethnic groups live in concord, work in solidarity, and develop in harmony, bending together closely like the seeds of a pomegranate. This is a land of harmony and stability, where people from various ethnic backgrounds live and work in peace and contentment. In recent years, by holding high the banner of socialist rule of law, a legitimate struggle against terrorism and extremism has been waged in Xinjiang. The tendency of frequent terrorist activities has been effectively curbed, safeguarding to the fullest extent the right of people of all ethnic groups to subsistence and to development. Enhanced social stability across Xinjiang has enabled the local people to live and work with greater ease and content. This is a land of prosperity and progress, where the new development approach has taken root. seizing the opportunity of the new development stage and taking the new development approach. The building of a new development paradigm is underway in Xinjiang. By following the general principle of progress with stability and pursuing coordinated advancement of both regular COVID-19 response and social-economic development, economy in Xinjiang has maintained a steadfast and well-balanced trajectory. This is a land of happiness, where people's well-being is constantly improved. Highlighting the people-centered development approach, over 70% of the general public budget in Xinjiang is devoted to ensuring and improving people's livelihood. The social security system keeps improving continuously. Free regular medical checkups are made available to the entire population. The 9-year compulsory education becomes universal across Xinjiang. And in southern Xinjiang, the 15-year free education program covers the entire population. By the year 2020, with the entire poor population by current standards in Xinjiang being lifted out of poverty, the problem of extreme poverty has been resolved once and for all. This is a land of religious harmony, where the freedom of religious belief is respected and protected. In Xinjiang, the principle of the freedom of religious beliefs enshrined in the national constitution has been implemented in entirety. Normal religious activities of believers and their religious needs are guaranteed by law. Conditions and facilities for religious activities and the venues are constantly improving. This is a land of magnificent landscape with a kaleidoscope of sceneries. Across Xinjiang, there are numerous fascinating wonders of nature and cultural heritage sites that have become popular destinations for both Chinese and foreign tourists. Xinjiang has been long known as the home of melons and fruit, the land of golden jade, and the carpet and silk paradise. Xinjiang has been pressing ahead with a strategy of invigoration through tourism, with a view to turning tourism into a strategic pillar industry. Just as lucid waters and lush mountains are as valuable as mountains of gold and silver, people in Xinjiang are fully aware that the land of snow and ice can also be a treasure house. This is a land of outstanding advantages with vast potentials for development. Located in the hinterland of Eurasian continent, en route the Eurasian Continental Bridge, Xinjiang has been an important corridor for economic and cultural exchanges between the East and the West. It is endowed with unique development possibilities and locational advantages. Going forward, Xinjiang will speed up the development of the core area of the Silk Road Economic Belt and promote international Belt and Road cooperation. Let the development opportunities be shared by all. Let our cooperation flourish toward a better tomorrow for all. Welcome to Xinjiang, China.
好，以上是这部短片6分多钟啊，就是反映了新疆是个好地方。
It's a wonderful land.
几分钟的这个短视频
I hope that through this a few minutes and you will get a very brief feeling about the colorful Xinjiang. Now, please welcome Mr. Shakat Yiming, the chairman of Standing Committee of People's Congress of Xinjiang-Uyghur Autonomous State Region, to deliver a keynote speech.
女士们、先生们、朋友们。
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, welcome to this video conference. Xinjiang is a wonderful land. Take this opportunity on behalf of the People's Government of Xinjiang-Uyghur Autonomous Region. I would like to extend a warm welcome and the best regards to you all. Now, I would like to brief you on stability and development situation here in Xinjiang. Xinjiang is located in the northwest border area of China. Since ancient times, it has been a home to multi-ethnic groups where different cultures and religions coexist. As an important hub of the famed Silk Road, it has been the very important passage for the exchange between the Western and Eastern civilizations. Now, Xinjiang is also regarded as the core area of the Silk Road economic belt construction. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region have earnestly carried out the party's policy on governing Xinjiang in the new era, upheld the people-centered development philosophy, and taken the people's aspiration for a better life as the primary goal for all our work. As a result, that Xinjiang has witnessed an unprecedented achievements in its economic and social development and the people's lives' well-being. And you see that across the north and the southern slopes of Tian Shan Mountain, people of all ethnic groups now lead a happy life. The people's sense of gain, happiness, and security has been on the rise. And the whole situation in Xinjiang is getting more and more stable, and people of all ethnic groups live and work in contentment. For some time in the past, Xinjiang has been plagued by terrorism, separatism, and religious extremism. Between 1990s and the end of 2016, the separatists, religious extremists, and terrorists from outside China has plotted and carried out thousands of terrorist attacks in Xinjiang, leaving a large number of civilian casualties and enormous property losses. In the face of the grave and complicated anti-terrorism tasks and the urgent need from our people for security and protection of their property, we must take fierce measures to suppress violent and terrorism crimes in one hand and protect people's lives and properties on the other. Xinjiang has drawn lessons from the counterterrorism practices from the international community, earnestly implemented the UN Global Counterterrorism Strategy and the plan of actions to prevent violent extremism, holding high the banner of socialist rule of law and sticking to the principle of preventing and fighting the terrorism at the same time according to the law. We've taken tough measures to crack down upon those violent terrorism crimes and make every means to eradicate the root causes of terrorism. By improving people's well-being through poverty alleviation campaigns, raising general public's awareness of rule of law through education, and establishing the vocational education and training centers to help out local people who had been poisoned by those extreme thoughts, and etc. So we have done our utmost to protect our people's basic human rights from the scourge of terrorism and terrorism. So there has been no violent terrorist case for more than 4 years in a row in Xinjiang. We can see that the people's aspiration for peace and stability has been realized. As in the economic sector, the high-quality economic development has been realized. Sticking to the general principle of pursuing progress while ensuring stability, we have established a new development paradigm to ensure the stable and healthy development of the economy. During the 13th five-year plan period, the GDP of Xinjiang rose from 930.68 billion yuan to 1.3797 trillion yuan. In 2020, the per capita disposable income for urban residents of Xinjiang registered 34,838 yuan. That is 2.4 times higher than that of 2010. As for the rural residents, the figure was 14,056 yuan. That is 2.8 times higher than 10 years ago. We have built up a dimensional traffic network to make travel easier within Xinjiang and faster to the outside. There are 7,473 kilometers of railways connecting all prefectures and the cities of the region. And 75 counties have access to highways with a total mileage of highways about 210,000 kilometers. We have 22 civil airports in the region, which are the most among other provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities in China. To fully utilize local resources, we have promoted advantageous industries with local specialties here in Xinjiang. Facilitated by the dozens of the land ports in Xinjiang connecting our neighboring countries and those countries along the BRI roads linking Eurasia continent, Xinjiang is making solid progress at the core area of the Silk Road economic belt. It can be said that in the past 5 years, more than 4,200 inbound and outbound China-Europe freight trains had passed through Xinjiang to 19 countries in the Eurasia continent and 26 cities, arriving at various destinations and in all directions in these countries and cities. Even with the COVID-19 strike in 2020, the figure of China-Europe freight trains traveling through Xinjiang reached 1,105 trains. This steel caravan running at a high speed on the Belt and Road is actually bringing tangible benefits to people along the routes. And we have made a complete victory in the poverty reduction endeavor. In recent years, guided by the national strategy of targeted poverty alleviation with focuses set on ensuring that the poverty-stricken people no longer have to worry about the food and clothing and are guaranteed with access to compulsory education, basic medical services, and safe housing through precise policies adopted to address 6 basic elements of the target poverty alleviation projects. Efforts have been made to support the rural industry development, employment expansion, granting ecological protection compensations, and relocation subsidies, providing various social insurance and pensions, etc., to tackle different difficulties we encountered in the poverty reduction endeavors. As a result, 3.649 million rural impoverished people under the current poverty line have all been lifted out of poverty, and 3,666 poor villages, 35 poor counties have been removed from the list. People now have sufficient food and clothing, as well as access to education, medical services, and housing. A dynamic mechanism has been established to ensure that all the school-age children in poor families to receive compulsory education. The participation rate of impoverished people for basic medical insurance and serious illness insurance reached 100%. The weak links we used to have in safety drinking water and housing projects have been strengthened with those projects for providing safe drinking waters and dilapidated houses renovation in rural areas have drawn a complete success. After the 1.5 million poorest people being helped out in the past 5 years, all poverty-stricken people in Xinjiang now have clean water to drink and a safe house to live. Living and production conditions of those people have been greatly improved. The problem of absolute poverty that plagued Xinjiang for over 1,000 years has been historically solved. The ethnic unity has been further solidified. We have fully implemented the CPC's policies on ethnic minorities and the system of regional ethnic autonomy. We have worked vigorously to enhance the solidarity and realize the common prosperity for all ethnic groups. According to the statistics, from 2010 to 2018, the population of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang increased 2.5 million, or by 25%, which is higher than the Xinjiang's overall population growth rate, that is 13 points, and higher than the average growth rate for all the ethnic group populations, that is 22%, and actually much higher than the Han population growth rate, which was only 2% over the same period. The rights of people of all ethnic groups to participate equally in the administrating the regional affairs have been guaranteed according to law. The governors of the autonomous region, heads of autonomous prefectures, and autonomous counties are citizens from the ethnic groups exercising the regional autonomy in the areas concerned. We safeguard the rights of the ethnic groups to use and develop their own spoken and written languages. As a matter of fact, spoken and written languages of ethnic minorities are extensively used in the fields of the judicature, administration, education, press and publishing, radio and televisions, etc. The ethnic customs and the traditions such as the costumes, marriage and funeral rituals, festivals and celebrations are fully respected. Xinjiang has formulated regional regulations to supervise over the production and supply of halal food to guarantee the dietary habits of Muslims. Great importance have been attached to the preservation and protection of the cultural classics and traditions of all ethnic groups. For example, the Uyghur 12 Muqams and the Kyrgyz epic Manas has been listed on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List. And we have 83 items on the national representative list of intangible cultural heritage and 315 items on the regional list for further promotion and in heritage. Various campaigns have been carried out to promote ethnic unity and solidarity. Throughout Xinjiang, over 1.1 million urban cadres have paired up with more than 1.6 million grassroots ethnic residents. They became close friends, treating each other like family members through frequent exchanges and communications. It has been shown by the statistics that the cadres have donated over 1 billion yuan and 55.93 million daily necessities to their pair-up relatives in the rural areas since 2016. And those relatives from the cities have helped to solve their daily difficulties in the rural areas through millions of good and practical deeds. These ethnic unity promote campaigns have been well received by the people who joined them and throughout Xinjiang. As for the religious harmony has been fully guaranteed, we have fully implemented the party's policy on freedom of religious belief, and the normal religious activities and the needs of believers are guaranteed in accordance with the law. We continued to improve the conditions of venues for religious activities, especially for common Muslims, to satisfy their basic needs. For example, generally there are tap water, electricity, natural gas supply, paved road access, telephones, radios and televisions, medical services with first aid drugs, LED display screens for notices, computers, electric fans or air conditioners, even firefighting devices or water dispensers, etc., in all mosques for the convenience of Islamic believers. While in Jummah mosques, there are also the ablution equipment and the flushing toilets also. A complete system of religious personnel foster and education system has been established, supported by 10 Islamic schools throughout Xinjiang. The Xinjiang Islamic College and its 8 branches, and Xinjiang Islamic Sculpture Institute, which recruit about 1,000 students every year. The religious classics like the Holy Quran and Sahih al-Bukhari have been translated and published in Chinese, Uyghur, Kazakh, and Kyrgyz languages, and to expand the channels for the common Muslims to acquiring religious knowledges. People's livelihood has been steadily improved. Adhering to the principle of putting people first, Xinjiang government has allocated more than 70% public financial budget to the people's livelihood improvement projects, ensuring that more people could benefit from the development achievements we made fairly and equally. For example, the urban-rural education integration has been promoted. The 9-year compulsory education has covered all regions, but in southern Xinjiang, the free compulsory education has been expanded to 15 years. In 2020, up to 1.558 million 4 to 6 years old preschool children from rural areas have been admitted to kindergarten for free. All citizens could enjoy a free health examination once a year. And those from rural areas could enjoy the convenience of pavement after treatment and one-time settlement when sent to the hospitals. A 3-tier medical security system consisting of basic medical insurance, serious illness insurance, and medical relief has been put in place throughout the region, joined by 99.7% of its population. The basic pension in Xinjiang now covers 13.11 million senior citizens, and personal accident insurance and the minimum living allowances for urban and rural residents has reached full coverage. We have implemented a series of employment promotion policies and measures to make sure that everyone has a chance to achieve their success in life through hard work. In this process, workers of all ethnic groups choose their jobs as they wish, sign labor contracts with their employers as prescribed by Chinese laws such as the labor law and other laws and regulations, and get their payment accordingly. Thanks to the implementation of these beneficial policies and measures, Now, people of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang are having a happy and safe lives with full access to child care, education, employment, medical services, elderly care, housing, and social welfare services. And the days are getting better and better. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Xinjiang now is experiencing its most auspicious period of prosperity and development in history. However, some people in the international community with ulterior motives just ignore the facts and spread the vicious rumors about Xinjiang, such as the establishment of the concentration camps, existence of the large-scale forced labor, forced sterilization for ethnic groups, and even acts of genocide. Those allegations are totally nonsense. They're all absolute lies. Some Western politicians choose to believe the lies made up by a few instead of listening to the voice of 25 million Xinjiang people of all ethnic groups. They would rather join the clumsy show directed by a fraction of anti-China forces than to acknowledge the basic facts of the development and the progress happening right here in this region. The purposes of those people is to create a so-called Xinjiang issue to undermine the security and stability in this region and hold back China's development. And for all of this, we strongly condemned it and firmly reject it. All that we have done here in Xinjiang is following the right path, is for the benefits of people of all ethnic groups. Everything is open, above board, and honest. We sincerely hope that you could come and visit us here in this land, learn more about this wonderful land with your own eyes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shaukat Emin. Now, I would like to invite the Professor Mahmoud Abdulwali from the Xinjiang Social Academy to make an introduction on the Xinjiang's implementation of family planning policy and its demography increase.
Good morning, everyone. Now I would like to introduce family planning policies in Xinjiang. China's family planning policy has been rolled out from the eastern and central regions of the country to the border areas, from the Han population to the ethnic minorities that have received differentiated and looser policies than Han couples. From 1975, the family planning policy was implemented first in predominantly Han-populated cities such as Urumqi. In 1981, the provisional regulations on several issues of the family planning policy was published, starting with the policy for Han couples. In 1992, the measures for the implementation of family planning of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region was published, according to which urban urban Han couples could have one child and rural Han couples could have two, while urban couples of ethnic minority groups could have two children, and those in rural areas can have three. In 2017, taking into account Xinjiang's economic and social development and the changing attitude towards childbearing among all ethnic groups, Xinjiang revised its population and family planning regulations, applying a uniform policy to all ethnic groups, whereby urban couples can have two children and rural couples can have three. As can be seen, the family planning policy was implemented toward ethnic minority couples 17 years later than it was to Han couples. And it is still more relaxed compared to China's other provinces. The ethnic minorities population in Xinjiang, especially the Uyghur population, has maintained a steady growth. The data from 2010 to 2018 showed that Xinjiang's permanent residents increased from 21.8158 million to 24.8676 million, increased by 3.05818 million, which is 13.99%. Among that, ethnic minorities population increased to 15.8608 million from 12.9859 million by 2.8749 million, which is 22.14%. Uyghur population was up from 10.17 million to 12.71 million by 2.54 million, which is 25.04%. Han population rose from 8.82 million to 9.006 million by 2%. The growth rate of Uyghur population was not only higher than Xinjiang's population growth rate, but also higher than that of ethnic minorities and a lot higher than that of Han population. As to the questioning by some overseas organizations and personnel about the unavailability of population data for 2019 and 2020, the German pseudo-scholar Adrian Zenth research paper titled Sterilizations, IUDs, and Mandatory Birth Control, the Chinese Communist Party's Campaign to Suppress Uyghurs' Birth Rates in Xinjiang. In this research paper, he invoked statistics before 2018. Therefore, we respond with the numbers in the same period without being selective about years. And the region's total population data will be made public after the release of the 7th National Census statistics, claiming that in 2019 and 2020, the region's Uyghur population decreased and even dropped by 50% before the official data is released is nothing but speculation and groundless rumors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mahmoud Abdulwali. Now, let's invite Abdulwali Ablimit. He's the Khatib of Altan Mosque of Yarkand County, Kashgar Prefecture, to share with some of those religious belief freedom situation in Xinjiang.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdulwali Ablimit, the president of the Islamic Association of Yarkand County, Kashgar Prefecture, also the Khatib of Altan Mosque in Yarkand County. Some overseas organizations and people smeared that Xinjiang is forcefully demolishing mosques, curbing religious freedom, and repressing Muslims and Islam. But it is known that most mosques in Xinjiang were built in the 1980s and 90s or even earlier. Some of them were very narrow and small, and some had become dangerous buildings. So normal religious activities could not take place on windy and rainy days. In the event of an earthquake, the safety of Muslims would be seriously threatened. In addition, some mosques could not provide a convenient place for Muslims to carry out religious activities due to unreasonable layouts. In recent years, with accelerated urbanization and the implementation of the rural revitalization strategy, some local governments, in response to demands from local Muslims, have solved the problem of dilapidated buildings in mosques. In accordance with urban and rural construction planning, the local governments work on these solutions in concert with transformation of urban shantytowns, improvement of rural living environments, and relocation for poverty alleviation, and have taken a variety of measures involving new construction, relocation, and expansion. At present, with safer houses and more reasonable layouts, the mosques in Xinjiang can fully meet the needs of religious people. In Xinjiang, the government protects normal religious activities in accordance with law, respects the customs and traditions of the Muslim people. For example, the Altun Mosque, where I work, has a 480-year-long history, covering an area of 2,600 square meters, of which the praying hall takes up 300 plus square meters. This mosque has been equipped with water, electricity, natural gas, radio and television facilities, along with other amenities including medical services, LED screens, computers, electric fans or air conditioners, firefighting equipment, clean drinking water facilities. The Muslims around come to the mosque for 5 daily prayers, Jummah, and 8 prayers. When Muslims get married, after receiving the marriage certificate from the Civil Affairs Department, they invite me to conduct the nikah ceremony in their houses. If someone dies, I conduct the funeral according to the religious customs, followed by burial in a cemetery. China is a country under the rule of law. In the fight against crime, it has never targeted any particular religion or ethnicity. The government cracks down on those who promote extremist ideologies, engage in separatist, destructive, and violent terrorist activities. Those people, taking advantage of the modest religious feelings of the Muslims, they spread extremist thoughts, wantonly distort the doctrine and sunnah of Islam, deny all secular concepts and achievements of modern civilization, advocating the concept of jihad, killing infidels and apostates. Some religious figures of moderate faith are rejected, persecuted, and even killed by them, causing profound harm to the people of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang, and destroying the image of Islam. I think fighting religious extremism is to better protect the legal religions. Now, Xinjiang hasn't seen any violent terrorist attacks over the past 4 years. Our religious personnel all feel safe and they firmly endorse the measures taken by the government. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Wali. Now I'd like to invite you to watch a short video for your reference. It is taken at the Jomach Mosque at Hotian Prefecture.
Xotan shahar jami masjidi 1848 yili qurilgan, 1997 yili va 2019 yili qayta qurib chiqilgan. Endi bizning masjidimizningki umumiy egallagan ko'lami 4816 kvadrat metr. Ma qurilishningki egallagan ko'lami 2376 kvadrat metr. Havo tanshigich, ichimlik suv mashinasi, oyoq qoplag'ich, narsa kerak saqlash shkafi, undan keyin o't o'chirish aslahalarini saplab berdi. Uningdan boshqa kutubxona silib, taratxona, suv bilan yurishlashgan hojatxonalarni remont qilib berdi. Tok, gaz, suv parlarni ravonlashtirib, yozda havo tanshigich, qishda par va issiq suv bar muhit hozirlab berdi. Sharoitimiz nihoyat yaxshi. Hozirgi masjidimiz yo'ruq, ozoda, pokiza, ratlik, muhiti yaqinlik. Bizning e'tiqodchi ommalarimiz nihoyat xushal bo'ldi.
Ben Xotan şehrdeki ittihatçı amma bu yıl yeni tipteki tacısıman öpüyallığı yokum baykalgandan keyin hükümetimiz mescidimizge tibbi davalaş kadımlarını tibbi mülazimet kılışka evetti. İttihatçı ammaga maske takıtıp, beden temperaturasını ölçüp, mescidini kararlılık dezenfeksiya kılıp, keng ittihatçı ammanın normal dini faaliyet ötküzüşüge kapaletlik kıldı. Bunundan biz keng ittihatçı amma razı bulduk, hem kuşal bulduk.
好，谢谢大家观看。下面，请新疆喀什地区喀什市教培中心结业学员穆拉迪利·莫赫泰尔先生介绍他通过在教培中心的学习培训，摆脱了宗教极端思想，
Kashi Vocational Education and Training Center, and he would like to share with you his experience in learning at the center and in winning a happy life after his graduation.
Hello everyone, my name is Muradil Mukhtar, a graduate of Kashgar Vocational Education and Training Center. Some people overseas said that Vocational Education and Training Center is a concentration camp, and the trainees there suffer from torture and abuse, which is completely nonsense. Today I'm going to introduce you the center based on my own experience. Influenced by religious extremism over the past years, I regarded TV and radio programs as non-halal and denied all of them. What's more, I didn't allow my neighbors to watch TV and smash their TV set if they disobeyed. I didn't allow my sister to go to school and monitor her each day. She would be scolded if she tried to go. Han people are infidels to me. I refuse to contact with Han people or use anything produced by them. I was reclusive and unsociable with many extreme behaviors. My mother was sad see me like this, so persuaded me to go to the Vocational Education and Training Center. When I came to the center, I found out it is an actual school. We have 6 classes per day from Monday to Friday. We have learned standard spoken and written Chinese, law, vocational skills, and de-radicalization courses. Through studies and training, my Chinese has been improved a lot. I used to stammer while speaking Chinese. Now, as you can see, I am very fluent in it. More importantly, having learned the anti-terrorism law, regulations on religious affairs, regulations on de-radicalization, I realized the hazard of religious extremism. I knew the boundary of law and what was right thing to do. We have plenty of extracurricular activities in the center. There are library, recreational venues, and interest classes. and our teachers teach us singing and dancing. We often hold basketball and football matches and recreational activities. Our customs are fully respected, and the canteen offers a variety of nutritious Muslim food free of charge. The school has clinics with 24-hour medical workers available. If we catch a cold or feel uncomfortable, they give us treatment. Our dormitories are equipped with TV, electric fan, and bathroom. In the Vocational Education and Training Center, we can contact with our families and friends whenever we want. I asked for a 3-day leave to attend my cousin's marriage. We can take days off on weekends and national holidays. On holidays, trainees can take part in normal religious activities in mosque or at home. After graduation, my mother said, I have become more outgoing, energetic, and sensible. My sister didn't try to avoid me like before. Our life has come back to normal. I set up a clothing store in Kashgar. Since I can use Chinese to communicate with customers fluently, my business is flourishing, and I can earn 6,000 RMB a month. I was grateful to my experiences in the center. It has pulled me back before it was too late and saved me and my family. From now on, I will keep working hard on my clothing store. We'll try to open up more branch stores. I will work for a better life. Thank you.
Thank you, Muladil Mokhtar. So here is another short video for your reference, and so we can take a look of other Chinese when their lives when they were.
我叫帕尔白，今年24岁，家住喀什。我研究的这件事情都还2018年6月份到喀什市职业职能教育培训中心学习。2019年3月份毕业了。 在政府的帮助下，自己创业开办了一个美容美发店。我在教培中心学习的这个月是我心里得到充分释放、信心获得巨大改变的这个月。学校为我们开设了国家通用医院，想发展这本法律法规、职业技能培训课，还有区域文化知识课等。 毕业后，在政府的帮助下，我利用在学校学到的技能，开办了一家美容美发店，每个月的收入可以达到3000多元。如今，我和姐姐的经营这个美容美发店，生意红红火火，收入越来越多，让我对生活充满了希望。这都是党和政府对我关心关爱的结果。请你们不要胡言乱语，教培中心没有这么破坏。 反而是挽救了我们，给予了我们新生活。
好，谢谢。下面请新疆和田地区洛浦县。
Okay, now we have another speaker, Mr. Alimunyaz Hakum. He is from Lophu County and wants to tell you about his story of getting employed in a local factory.
Hello everyone, my name is Alamniaz Hakim from Lop County, Hotan Prefecture, currently working at a mushroom farming plant. Some people abroad said that Uyghurs are being used in coerced labor, which is not true. In 2019, I heard that a mushroom farming plant in our county was recruiting new workers, offering a good salary with other benefits. So I decided to quit my previous job, applied for this one, and in the end signed work contract with the factory. I was learning how to work since the beginning. I turned to senior workers when I didn't understand something. They were very helpful. Gradually, I mastered the professional knowledge on mushroom production, storage, transportation, and sale. Since I'm willing to work and study hard, I have become a backbone of the company and now promoted to be the assistant manager with salary raised from 4,000 RMB to more than 5,000 RMB a month. I am in charge with many of company's tasks assigned by the general manager, so my co-workers call me amiably the housekeeper. In November 2019, I took a 10-day leave to take care of my sick mother who was hospitalized. Our company grants us home leave every year and compensates travel fees for those who live outside the county. On weekends, we go back home to help parents with housework or hang out with friends for shopping. The company respects our customs and traditions. They open a halal canteen with free lunch on weekdays. It has a variety of choices on the menu, including lagman noodles, pilaf, steamed buns, and chicken stew. We all like the food there because it is clean and delicious. On Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, we are given mutton or beef, rice, oil, and some other daily necessities. After I started making a good earning at the mushroom farming plant, my dad found a job as well. If counting the sheep that my mom keeps, our yearly household income is about 150,000 RMB. I will work harder at the plant, try to learn more about management, to improve my communication and management skills, to get a higher position and salary, so that my parents and my future wife can have a happy and comfortable life. Thank you.
Thank you, Alumnius, for sharing with us your stories of getting employed in the factory. But recently, that we also organized many of those workers from southern part of Xinjiang, the most impoverished areas of Xinjiang, to get employed in inland China cities and provinces. Here is a video for your reference.
科作阿克陶县通过在内地务工回来开了个公司，然后让弟弟去杭州有一家公司学3轮电动车的马达，学这个技术。技术学完回来以后，我们阿克陶当地开了一家电机制造厂，南疆地区各地方都有客户。我们现在公司的生意越来越好了。 挣了一些钱，县城买了一套房子，农村也新建了一套房子。我们一家4口人很辛苦，孩子都在县城上学，我们还有夏天回农村享受美丽农村的生活。我们确实很辛苦。
好，谢谢大家的观看。
To today's briefing, we also invited 2 women representatives. Now, we are giving the floor to Madame Mihrisa Kari, who is the president of Women's Federation at Saman Township in Kashgar Prefecture. She will tell us about childbearing and child rearing among Xinjiang women.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mihrisa Kari. I'm a head of Women's Federation of Saman Township, Kashgar City. Some foreign people said that the ethnic women are subject to forced sterilization. This is a complete lie. As an official responsible for women's affairs at grassroots, I deal with women in the villages every day, knowing exactly the number of kids in each family. In most cases, they have 2 to 3. It's as the pregnancy tests and checkups are provided free, and fees for childbirth at hospitals are reimbursed through the health insurance. So out-of-pocket costs, therefore, is quite minimal. Kids are vaccinated free of charge and provided with nutrient supplements after their birth. So our babies are all in good health. Free education from kindergarten care to high school is available to our children. We don't actually have to worry about their food and clothing and tuition fees at all. There has been a shift in rural women's concept on childbearing over the years. Many sisters tell me that women used to have several more children in the past, so they had a lot heavier family burden and could only stay at home and take care of those kids. But now, enlightened by the concept of fewer babies but better bring up, women can get themselves freed from domestic affairs and spend more time on their preferences. I myself is an example for your reference. I have 2 children, and both me and my husband have stable jobs, and our family getting better. We are a happy family of 4.
Now please watch a short video on family planning among women of ethnic minorities in southern Xinjiang.
Яслиде оқиды. Kichik balam hozir 6 oylik bo'ldi, kuchimdiki shu. Men bu o'z ixtiyorligim bilan shu tug'ut-cheklash tadbiridan uzuk soldirish tadbirini tanlagandim. Hozir shu kichik balamni tug'ib 3 oydan keyin uzuk soldirgandim. Mening salomatligimga munoyatdi mos keldi. Hozirgacha hech qanday bir yomon ta'sirini bayqamadim. Davlatimizning yaxshi siyosatlarining orqasida bizning yezimizning kiloliq tug'ut yaponiyaga bizga haqsiz uzuk soldirish mulozimati elib bordi. Andan har oyda bir qatim haqsiz ziyorat elib bordi. Andan faslda bir qatim haqsiz uzuk tekshirtish elib bordi. Bizning mulozimatimiz nihoyat yaxshi. Bizlar qanday masala yo'l olsak, ular bizga nisbatan yaxshi tushunchalarni berdi.
Menchi bo'lganda shu planliq tug'ut siyosati intayin yaxshi. Menmo shu 2% ota-onalar sharaf guvohnomasini olaman. Menchi bo'lganda bu to'liq yaxshi siyosat. Hozir menga o'xshash nurg'un yosh ota-onalar o'zligidan shu sharaf guvohnomasiga tizimlatib, shu siyosatdan bahramon bo'lyotdi. Men bu siyosatni to'liq qo'llayman.
Qizim bu yil 5 yosh kirdi, yaslida o'qiydi. O'g'lim bu yil 3,5 yosh kirdi. Bu yil emblam yaslida tizimlatib, yaslida o'qishga kirmoqchi. Bizga yezliq planliq tug'ut ishxonasidan kentimizga kelib, planliq tug'ut tashviqot tarbiya faoliyati olib bordi. Bularni asos qilib so'zlaydig'ini amaldorlikdan saqlanish tadbirlari ichida oylik dora, kunlik dora, kondon, uzuk selish, bog'dirish qatorliq usullarni bizga tafsiliy tushuntirib, shularning badanga bo'lgan ta'siri to'g'risida bizga tafsiliy tushuncha berdi. Undan biz shularning ichidan o'zimizning badanimizga mos kelganini tanlab amaldorlikdan saqlanamiz. Shaxsan men o'zimning salomatlik ahvolim mos keldi deb qarab, uzuk selishni tanlagan.
我有一个女儿，今年10岁了，她正在上幼儿园。我自愿的选择了偿还，我偿还已经3年了，3年身体没有任何影响。Chataldagi bir qism axborot vositalari davlatimizga qarchaplab, Junggodagi asonliq millatlarning bola aldirish, uzuk soldirish qatorliq ishlarga majburlash elib borgan deb fitna ig'vo tarqatibdi. Men shunday ayta olamanki, undaq ish yo'q. Fitna ig'vo tarqatmanglar.
好，谢谢观看。
For watching. I hope that after watching this video, you can better understand the family planning policy implemented in southern Xinjiang. Some foreign media smeared Xinjiang that we forcefully implemented forced sterilization. Recently, some foreign media claimed that the government forced children to be separated from their parents by sending them to the boarding school forcefully. Now we are giving the floor to Madame Amangul Tuhti Sulaiman, a parent of a boarding school pupil. She will introduce the life and study of pupils at the boarding school.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amangul Tuhti Sulaiman. I live in Yutian County, Hetian Prefecture. My son receives education in a boarding school. Some foreign people say that the government forced us, the ethnic minority, to send our kids to boarding schools and causing family separations. But such words are simply too ridiculous. I have 3 kids. My husband is a truck driver. He's seldom at home. And I myself run a beauty salon, so I have to take care of the business while looking after my children. Sometimes I even had no time to cook a proper meal for them, let alone help them with their homework. So we decided to send our eldest son to a boarding school when he graduated from his primary school. The school actually has very good conditions. The tuition fees, textbook fees are exempted. Free meals and accommodation are provided. My son eats well and living in a comfortable environment, and he studied better and better, and he got along with his classmates. Before he was enrolled in the boarding school, we have to take care of his daily life as well as study. You see, I myself is not so well educated. I can't tutor him with many subjects, but now he can look after himself and finish his homework on his own, and his performance are getting better and better. When he comes back home from holidays and vacations, he even helps me with some houseworks. My husband and I feel that our son has grown up, and his changes make us feel gratitude. Boarding schools actually does our family a big favor, so we can make a living with no worries when the children can be better cared for. We are truly happy for this. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope that all the schools in the boarding schools can live, healthily and grow healthily there. And we will have a video to be screened showing, the opinions of the parents whose children are in boarding schools.
我们家有3口人，他们是我、老公还有我女儿。我和老公经营着一家轮胎店，女儿在县上上高中，住的是楼房，生活上没有困难，过的是幸福美满的生活。这是我们2口子开的轮胎店，虽然规模不是那么大，但是我们已经拿下了好几家轮胎公司的代理权。我开的轮胎店就在国道边上，生意特别好，每天大概可以给10来多辆车子更换轮胎，每个月净收入达到8000元以上。因为我和老公平时工作繁忙，也没有足够的时间陪我女儿学习，所以在孩子快初中毕业的时候，我和老公选择了这一所基础制高中学校。学校教室宽敞明亮，宿舍干净整洁，在这里孩子吃喝住都是免费的。住校以后，在老师的帮助下，孩子的学习成绩提高了很多，让他培养了自主的能力。 孩子有事可以请假，周末随时可以回来，在学校吃宿还免费，我觉得非常好。
好，谢谢大家观看啊！刚才新疆维吾尔自治区人大常委主任
Just a moment ago, and
向大家
the chairman of Xinjiang People's Congress briefed you on the general situation about the economic and social development of the region, and we also have the other 6 representatives from different walks of life and who shared their stories. And in between, we screened some video clips about this region. And due to the time limit, and that's roughly some of the information that we have for you, which shows, the real ground situation in the southern Xinjiang. And we hope that you have already have a better understanding of the South Xinjiang. Now we give the floor to back to London.
Thank you, Mr. Chu.
谢谢徐部长。
Chakati Iming and other speakers for your comprehensive briefing. Now we'll begin the Q&A session. For first question, I would like to invite Fang Wenjian, Chairman of China Chamber of Commerce in the UK. Mr. Fang, please.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can hear me. And I'm from China Chamber of Commerce in the UK. As a representative of the Chinese enterprises in the UK, we are very indignant at some specific, politicians and individuals here who are spreading Xinjiang-related lies and rumors in the UK. At the same time, we are also disturbed by the long-term biased reports from the UK media about Xinjiang. Recently, several international apparel brands have, publicly boycotted Xinjiang cotton. And the UK has also announced that, it will introduce a bill to restrict the import of cotton products produced by Uyghur Muslims under so-called forced labor. Cotton production in Xinjiang accounts for 20% of the world's cotton supply. If this bill is passed, it will significantly impact the supply chain of the UK apparel and retail industries and cause concerns in related businesses in the UK business community. My question is, could you please introduce the real situation of Xinjiang's cotton production